Hey, this is Groovey. I'm here at Breckenridge Brewery. I'm here with Nick and Zak of Midspace. Awesome comic book. You have to check it out. How are you, gentlemen?
Amazing. Fantastic.
Quite well, thank you.
We've gone Old English all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, it's in the genes.
So tell me about this freaking rad comic book you guys put out.
Well, it's it's like we said before, it's the finest in intergalactic space shenanigans. I describe it as a combination between Die Hard and The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. Lots of tongue-in-cheek space opera with a lot of ridiculous violence and a lot of other dirty things we won't talk about right now.
How do you describe it?
It's South Park meets Tarantino in space.
So if Tarantino directed Die Hard, possibly?
In space. Like, on a satellite in space.
But without the feeling of that movie that was Escape from New York in space. We're not doing anything like that.
You don't want to do anything like that?
No,
we're Russell free here. No Kurt Russell here.
100% Kurt Russell free. Stamped approved.
Same with Guy Pearce. Wasn't he in that new? That's
My mom's having a fit about the Kurt Russell comment right now. She's like, he's so handsome.
talk badly about that jaw.
All right, so tell me about the characters in Midspace. What are they all about in space?
They're kind of, a lot of them are definitely just, they're their own unique characters. One of them's like a hard light hologram, which is something that's, almost a staple of a lot of science fiction stories I've read over the years and years. The other ones are kind of like mashups of weird stuff you would see, like we've always wanted to parody some of the stuff that's like, there's the space western, and like, why? So we have a space cowboy.
This series, we're just making fun of everything. That's what this series is. Like,
there's ninjas.
It's just complete cliches. Just we're making fun of them. That's what it is.
Yeah. And we thought about doing something like the hero's journey, and I was like, that's so damn boring. It's like, I don't want to do this, but I guess I will because the galaxy needs me. This is more like some dumb kid kind of being thrown into the middle of everything in a space war, and he's like totally stuck with all this responsibility now because someone has decided to throw him into it, So our main character is definitely still sympathetic, but he's not, your typical, like, I don't want to do this. He's more like, I'm just kind of stuck doing it, and he still does it,
He's from, like, what's called Midspace because he's from the middle of two galaxies, so it's kind of like the Midwest. Yeah. So it's kind of like a kid being thrown from the Midwest into the real world.
So he's from Des Moines.
Yeah, he's from Des Moines, getting thrown into the real galaxy, the real universe, and that doesn't work so well for him. He's an idiot, and I'm not gonna say people from Des Moines you're gonna cut.
No, thrown under the bus.
Yeah, don't loop that right there. People from Des Moines are idiots. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying a few are.
All of them.
Less than 1/10%, right?
Right.
Yeah. We all work at the same 7-Eleven.
Yeah, they're all buddies with everyone from Steubenville. That's all it is. Yeah. So, yeah, like Midspace, it's two galaxies coming together, which is very, it's founded in actual science. I love science. So when you talk about two galaxies coming together, it's like two spiral galaxies coming together. And then you kind of have like, this total Bible belt of space there, of where he comes from. And everything's kind of like, it's such an awful future because it's totally like still high tech, but still like retarded. Like no one could still like get it right where it would be like
it's like, realistic because now like we have all this technology but nothing works. Nothing
we all hate our iPhones even though they're like the most amazing thing to anyone from like 1963. They're like, what is that amazing thing? And we're like, this thing is so slow. Yeah. It turns off every 5 minutes.
Twitter isn't refreshing fast enough. So no one's talking to me on Twitter. This is clearly the internet's fault. Something's broken.
My website took 7 seconds to load for someone this morning, and I got an email. It took 7 seconds to load the website this morning. I was like,
He was hoping to fill that time between when his chimichanga was heating up for breakfast.
My question is if technology is making everything go faster, or if you want it to go faster, what the hell are you doing with all that free time?
Driving slow. That's why we were so late to get here.
I'm enjoying life. Being in your way, that's what I'm doing.
Hiking.
No, that's not.
I like how we're all we're not getting outdoors. We live in Colorado. And we are done with that shit.
Done with it. Done. I don't snowboard. Stop asking me, people from not Colorado.
I've hiked.
To each their own. But you didn't buy extra thick socks.
No.
I hiked once, but I was lost, so I don't know if that's considered hiking, but...
The 16th Street Mall doesn't count.
I was confused.
He was on all those hills on Kipling. This has to be the mountains, right?
There was no 3G anywhere. I couldn't find the 3G.
I've been to Arvada once.
It was an awful experience. People talk to me. I'm not comfortable with that.
All right, so what are you guys working on besides Midspace? What do you got? You're in bands and stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, I play in 2 bands right now. One is kind of I've been in for 6 years, maybe? Yeah, it's a long time, and we haven't gone anywhere. So, but it's more of this, we're not trying to do anything. We're just trying to have fun and play music, make noise. And then I'm in one that just started recently called The Violent Summer.
It's been signed, and you're making $1 million.
The check is in the mail.
David Geffen, someone calling you right now.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I do mainly. That's what I came from. This is my first series writing, and me and Zak met at. I don't think we could technically say where we met,
let's call it Diarrhea Cottage, because that could be an appropriate title for that place.
A natural. we met working at a natural grocery store. I just lost my really good job, and the only place that would hire me is this grocery store. And my first week that I started, Zak was actually at San Diego Comic-Con. What year was this?
1942. It was 2006, 2008.
I don't think it was that.
2007.
I'm still laughing over Diarrhea Cottage. I'm sorry.
So much kale. It's all the kale. But
that's all you would hear about is how can I poop better? Oh no, go away. Go eat some gorp. Yeah. So yeah, we were working at this awful natural health food store. Neither of us are obviously healthy people. We eat pizza and ice and cake all the time. That's all our diet is, and maybe a burrito, a regretted burrito mostly. So yeah, we were I think we started talking about Watchmen or something, and we were
we were talking about Watchmen and how politically it's still relevant today, or back then. I don't know if it's still relevant today. Well, of course it is, but sure. God, just digging myself
You're debating with yourself right now.
Edit that. So we were talking about how Watchmen is politically correct, and we both realized that we liked comic books in the right way. I guess.
Yeah, because for the most part, I've been working with an all-female staff, and if you mention comic books, you usually get punched. You're not talking about, whatever they would talk about, which I will not offend anyone right now watching this video.
All they talked about was Kathy, right? It was Kathy talk all the time.
Kathy and cycles. So having Nick there was a nice breath of fresh air. And, we started going out, hitting the bars like guys do. We were I've been an illustrator for, since the early 2000s, and I've always wanted to do comics. I was doing a web comic that I started at the time that I wasn't really happy with because I hadn't written it out much, thought it out too much, and I was I'm going to go back to the drawing board and figure it out. And so we, in 2010, the end of 2010, early 2011, we started really talking about doing our own book and like how much we just hated what we were seeing on the stands. I mean, there was just a lot of like, God, so much bullshit out there.
What really happened was we would we would go to the bars all the time, and I would get drunk enough and I would start pitching Zach ideas.
Yeah, it was.
But I wasn't pitching him ideas. I was just saying like, hey, you need to do a book like this. And I would come up with these crazy ideas, and then it
was like Han Solo DJing. It was like a lot of that.
It was really bad.
It was
really bad, but that's how Midspace started. It was
Yeah.
Han Solo DJing. I don't understand.
Yeah, he's like Han Solo. He's on a planet. He's DJing. There's 5 of them, and they're just shooting people while they're DJing. It started out like that, and but mind you, this is over a lot of beers, so we're like, this is the most I can remember of that. But
Yeah, for the record, we both thought it was a really good idea at the time. We're like, this is
just like after a couple more of these, we're gonna think about a lot of really good ideas.
we are gonna redefine comic books with this idea. But I kept pitching Zach ideas, different, all crazy ideas, and then he finally got fed up and was like, you know what, just write something, write a book, and I'll draw it. And that kind of blew my mind because I'm so focused on playing music and not writing. I'm not grammar. I'm horrible at. I shouldn't be a writer.
You just said I'm not grammar.
I'm not grammar. Like that's pretty much. I feel sorry.
We just hired an editor.
We just hired an editor. We're paying him money because I'm retarded, but I'm politically correct. I'm not very smart, but I come up with crazy ideas. I always have. So
And they're fun. Yeah. They're funny ideas. I mean, the two of us, when we get together, we're very, obviously we're making you laugh a lot, so we're having a good old time. And I think Stan's laughing over there somewhere quietly.
He's also checking his mail, so maybe it's that daily joke that he gets from joke.com.
Oh, those peanuts.
Ooh, a text.
I can't believe he kicked the football again. Like,
Again. All right, so you guys got a booth at Comic-Con. What are you all bringing? What's it gonna be like?
Probably pretty insane. Yeah. No. Last year the first Denver Comic-Con, we had a great time, and that's it was the inspiration to get the first issue of Midspace out was Denver Comic-Con. We're like, it's our hometown. We gotta show what we're all about. So that was the inspiration to get that out. The second year, we want to have we have our second issue. We just debuted at Emerald City Comic-Con. And we have another book we're going to be announcing at Comic Fest in the next couple of weeks for Denver Comic Con. So we'll have a lot of that. We'll have some prints and, just a whole lot of original artwork and maybe even, some little postcards, knickknacks and hoo-ha's. Doodads.
Hoo-ha
Doodads. Well, since we're bringing it back to the old English, thankfully I've brought your interview full circle. So there you go.
Why, thank you, sir. What about you? What are you bringing to the table at old con?
Myself. We're doing that the new series that we haven't even named yet, so we can't promote it properly. But it's gonna be.
So it's so top secret you don't even know what it is.
I don't.
We've been talking about it for a long time, but it's like we can't figure out a name. We're like, it's nameless,
but it's
so
like
secret.
So Midspace is more comedically based. This next series is very serious and very. I'm excited to like what I'm writing. I'm just blown away. I'm just like this makes me sound like an egotistical prick, but I'm just really excited to just get it out there to see how people react to it because it's just like I think it's pretty fresh.
Yeah, with my artwork, I've done a lot of cons before, and mostly with the illustration work I've done and the comic stuff on that side, but. In New York, I shared a table with Zach Howard, and he does a lot of badass like aliens and that kind of cool stuff. And mine's very lighthearted, cartoony work. So I've gotten more of a female fan base, and it's just been like fantastic. It even happened a lot in Emerald City, and happened a lot in Denver. Have more female fans. We kind of want to do a book that's kind of like, gives it a little bit of a nod towards that, and that's kind of what our next book is. Definitely geared more towards our female audience, which has been. Overwhelmingly fantastic. Nice. And it's something that's not like Vampirella. I feel like a lot of women get shortchanged in our industry. We really wanted to be, we want that to be different. You look at Kelly Sue's Captain Marvel, and it's like, it's got slow sales, but it's like the greatest female book out there for so many reasons.
Like that book is one of the main inspirations behind this new series that we're doing, just because it's and it's weird being a man and writing for a female character because you don't want to make it sexist, but at the same time you're a man, so you have no idea. I am so confused by women and like writing an awesome, good, sweet woman that isn't totally sex driven and just like a good solid character. I'm asking myself a lot of questions like, well, what is this good? Is this right? Is this bad? But I think what we got going here is pretty strong, pretty good.
We've definitely we've just come together and taken a lot of the advice and feedback from a lot of our female fans that have been like, oh, I really like this, and then like they're talking about like, I'd really like to see this from a female character and that, just like stuff you overhear more than like you ask for. And so if you can put that, I think if you can capture that essence of what I've gotten, especially from commission work from female fans, I was like, it's a lot of that we're pulling in. So it's a lot of overheard. It's kind of like, this is a weird comparison, but it's like when you're out shopping and you hear like in July and someone's like, I would really like that, and then you get it for them, like write it down for them for Christmas. That's kind of what we're going for. It's like, this is going to be a little surprise, a little thank you, a little love letter.
Wow.
Like, thank you, amazing women of our lives.
Yeah, I think the main goal is to write like a strong female character that we want in comics, because that's why you make comics, is you want to produce something that isn't out there, that you're not getting. And we just want to make a strong female character that isn't driven by relationships or sex
Skimpy
or
clothing. Yeah.
stupid stuff
Just
like that.
looking-
Just like a realistic woman that's just doing her thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
That's exactly what it is.
And everyone's like, well, what is this series about? It's not about buying shoes. I'm just going to say that right now. Not about buying shoes.
Shoes.
Can you bring that over there, Stan? Here's the new cover.
Shoes, ladies. Coming your way. Shoes.
Pumps, and pumps is the only kind of shoe I know.
Pumps.
They always talk about pumps. I don't even know. Shoes.
Pumps in space.
Pumps in space. And it's not going to be like the Reebok pumps, unfortunately. That's what I would be excited for.
So that's our next series that we're launching at Denver, and then I think we're doing more Midspace after that.
More Midspace. I think we're going to try and get the the third, and who knows about the fourth. But we want to do the third one during the summer, and also go to we've probably been doing Rose City Comic Con in Portland. And we've been suggested to come to a bunch of shows, but I don't think we're going to be able to get to any of them until like 2014.
And unless you buy our book.
Buy the book.
If you buy the book, we could be all over the place. Buy both issues and then the new series. Yeah, we're just trying to make it to as many cons as possible to just spread the word.
Yeah, we would love to just get get our stuff out there and really just open up to the masses. We'd like to get into comicsology as well. That's what we're going to be concentrating on during the summer. Is I want to. Our book's in black and white, and I love working in black and white more than I do color, but I feel like a lot of people like color more. So I'm going to be doing both and getting into comicsology and making sure people can get it digitally, because I really think that's a big part of the future. It's like people just want to read comic books on their iPads and iPhones, and I do myself. So like, why not have it out? Plus, it's it doesn't cost $4,000 to print, and then you have to like walk around the comic shops. Yeah, please carry this and pay me money to carry it.
Yeah, because my comic shop just had kind of a crisis where they didn't get a lot of stuff in, and it's been a pain just to fill the gaps. And digitally, it's like that's the way to go.
Yeah.
It really is.
I love the feel of having a book in my hand, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I'm getting used to having it on my iPad. and it looks like really crystal clear and high definition and all that garbage. And you can zoom in on little parts and all that kind of stuff, so see the little details you really want to see.
Sure.
Because I think that's the fun part of when you go to conventions, like you're flipping through like their full-size artwork. You're like, wow, you really like went crazy with this, and it didn't show in print. So yeah, I'd really like to have that advantage, you know.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen any of the artist editions from IDW, but they're just like these gargantuan artists. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like seeing, you know, Dave Stevens' artwork at the size that he worked at. It was just, it blows your mind.
Yeah, I actually think the mob makes people hold them when they throw them overboard now, because it's just like, it just drowns them. They're huge.
So what are you guys' websites so everyone can find you?
We've got a Facebook, which is www.facebook.com/midspacecomic. And then we've got personal stuff. We've got Twitter. Mine's just Twitter. Is it / I don't know. It's just Nick Salmon. Just search Nick Salmon. I should be the first one because there is only one.
There can be only one.
Yeah, like Highlander reference.
Mine is Zak Kinsella. I spell my name Z-A-K, Kinsella, because I can't have an easy name to spell. But that's my website, zakkinsella.com. I'm at Zak Kinsella on Twitter, Instagram, and all that garbage. So I post a lot of my like work in progress stuff on Instagram, and people seem to really dig it. So if you want to follow me, check it out there. And then that feeds into Twitter, and it's just a tandem of social media orgy. So
So if you want an orgy, you know where to go.
it fits in well with the book.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very, very much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
This is Nick and Zach. We're at Breckenridge Brewery. Go check out Midspace. And shoes.
It's the next big thing.
Stan Yan is confirmed editing. We're really excited. This is going to be a new generation, a new period in comics.
So much pumping. So much calf muscles. Bye.
Cut. Bye.